Chapter 1. The Hero's Return. The gates of Elden Ridge creaked open and the guards dropped to their knees. Hero Kai is back. The Dark Lord is dead. I waved, but my legs only wanted one place. Ilara. I ran through the square, armor still smoking from the final battle. Old Marta grabbed my sleeve. Kai boy, you look half dead. I feel half alive, I laughed. Where's my wife? Marta's smile faltered. At the house, dear. Thorn came barreling out of the tavern, ale sloshing. You crazy bastard. He crushed me in a hug. I thought the dragon ate you. Almost did, I grinned. Where's Ilara? She knew I was coming today. Thorn scratched his beard too long. About that. She's home. Just go easy, brother. Easy? I haven't seen her in 2 years. I jogged the dirt path, heart hammering louder than war drums. Kids ran alongside shouting my name. I tossed them the dragon fang I'd saved. Tell your mothers the world is safe. Our little cottage came into view, flowers still blooming in the window boxes like always. I pictured her face the day I left. Promise you'll come back, Kai. I swear on every star, Ilara. I slowed at the gate. 2 women by the well stopped talking the moment they saw me. Seen her with that stranger in black? Said he had gold and promises? Their voices dropped to whispers. My stomach twisted, but I shook it off. Gossip. Nothing more. I stepped onto the porch. The door was cracked open. Ilara? I called, pushing it wide. Love, I'm home. No answer. Only the tick of the clock we bought the week we married. Ilara? Louder this time. A soft laugh floated from the bedroom. Her laugh, the one that used to make everything right. Then a man's low voice. He's late. Told you he wouldn't make it back. My blood turned to ice. I walked forward, each boot heavier than the last. I stopped in the doorway. Ilara sat on our bed, hair loose, cheeks flushed. A tall man in black robes stood behind her, hands on her shoulders. The silver crest of Zorith glinted on his chest. Her eyes met mine. Kai, she whispered. The color drained from her face. The man smirked. The hero arrives. I couldn't breathe. Tell me this isn't what it looks like. She stood, hands trembling. Kai, I thought you were dead. Everyone said. Dead. My voice cracked. I sent letters every month. The letters stopped 6 moons ago, she said quickly. Zorith, Lord Zorith, told me you fell at Black Spire. I stared at the man I'd stabbed through the heart myself. I killed you. Almost, he said smoothly. Your little sword tickled. Ilara nursed me back. Didn't you, darling? She flinched when he touched her cheek. Get your hands off my wife. The words came out quiet. Dangerous. Ilara stepped between us. Kai, please. I was alone. Afraid. He said the kingdom needed a new protector. So you married the monster I died stopping? Tears rolled down her face. I didn't marry him, not yet. Not yet. I laughed, but it hurt my throat. 2 years, Ilara. 2 years I bled out on battlefields so you could sleep safe. And the second you thought I was gone, you opened our bed to him? Kai. Don't. I backed away. Just, don't. I turned and walked out. The door slammed behind me. Outside, Thorn waited, face grim. Brother. I kept walking. The village cheers felt like knives now. Chapter 2, Shattered Trust. I pushed the door open and shouted, Ilara, I'm home. She was on the couch, hair messy, dress half unbuttoned. Zoritha's black cloak was draped over her shoulders like he owned her. His arm was around her waist. My sword was still in my hand from the road, and it felt suddenly heavy. Ilara jumped up. Kale, wait. You're dead, I said to Zorith. My voice cracked. I cut your heart out on the Black Mountain. I watched you burn. Zorith smiled the same cold smile I remembered. You cut something out, hero. Not my heart. He stood slowly, pulling Ilara against his side. She kept it warm for me while you were gone. Ilara, I whispered. Tell me this isn't real. She wouldn't look at me. You were gone 2 years. 2 whole years. Fighting so you could live. I shouted. So everyone could live. And I was dying here alone, she yelled back, tears running. Every day waiting for a letter that never came. Every night wondering if you were dead. Zorith came to the village. He listened. He stayed. He murdered children. My throat burned. He burned half the kingdom. He said he changed, she said, voice small. He said you only cared about glory. Zorith laughed. She believed me. Women get lonely, hero. You should have written. I stepped forward, sword rising. Let her go. Or what? He lifted his hand. Dark fire danced on his fingers. You already tried killing me once. Look how that turned out. Elara, I said, begging now. Come here. Please. She finally met my eyes. I'm pregnant, Kale. The room spun. Whose is it? She touched her stomach and looked at Zorith. That was the answer. I screamed, something wordless and broken, and lunged. Zorith flicked his wrist. Black chains snapped around my arms and slammed me to my knees. Pathetic, he said. The great savior on the floor. Stop. Elara cried. Don't hurt him. Why not? Zorith asked her. He's nothing now. The door crashed open behind me. Thorn's voice roared, Kale. He took one look and drew steel. Let him go, you bastard. Zorith sighed. Always a loyal dog. He waved a hand. The chains tightened until I couldn't breathe. Elara grabbed Zorith's arm. You promised no more killing. That was before he walked in, Zorith said. Say goodbye, love. I looked at her, really looked. You chose this. I chose to feel something again, she whispered. I'm sorry. Thorn charged. Zorith muttered a word. Darkness exploded. I felt Thorn's hands on my shoulders dragging me backward through the doorway. No. I clawed at the floor. Elara. She just stood there, crying, while Zorith closed the door in my face. Outside, Thorn threw me against the well. Breathe, damn it. I couldn't. My chest was caving in. Footsteps, Mira, my sister, running up the lane. Kale? Gods, what happened? I looked at her, voice gone. She's with him. She's carrying his child. Myra's face went pale. She knelt and pulled me into her arms. I'm here. I've got you. I buried my face in her shoulder and finally broke, sobbing like the world had ended. Because it had. Chapter 3, Exile and Despair. I stumbled through the dark forest, chest heaving, tears burning my eyes. Why, Elara? Why? I screamed at the trees. No one answered. The night was cold. My sword felt heavy, useless now. I threw it against a rock. I saved the world for you, I whispered. I killed Zorith for you. A branch cracked behind me. I spun, fists ready, but it was only Thorn. Kai, stop running, he panted. Come back. We'll fix this. Fix this? My voice broke. She's in his bed, Thorn. The man I stabbed through the heart is alive and wearing my wedding ring on her finger. Thorn grabbed my shoulders. Then we kill him again. Together. I shoved him away. Leave me alone. Everyone knew except me. Everyone. He didn't move. I didn't know. I swear on my life, Kai. I laughed, bitter and raw. Sure. The whole village laughing behind my back, and my best friend didn't hear a thing. Thorn's face twisted. I was with you on the front lines. 3 years, Kai. I came home 2 days ago, same as you. I turned and ran deeper into the woods until my lungs burned. Hours later, maybe days later, I collapsed by a stream. My reflection looked like a stranger, hollow eyes, blood on my cheek from thorns. I love you forever, Elara's voice echoed in my head from the day we married. Liar, I spat at the water. Young man, an old voice rasped behind me. I jumped up, hand reaching for the dagger I still had. An old hermit in gray robes stood there, leaning on a staff. Easy, he said. I'm Eldrick. This is my stream. You're bleeding on my fish. I stared. Leave me alone. Already tried that myself, he said, sitting on a rock. Lost my wife to a warlord 50 years ago. Drank myself stupid for a decade. Didn't help. I don't want your story, I muttered. You'll get it anyway, Eldrick said. She betrayed me the night I came home with medals on my chest. Said I was never there. Married the warlord a month later. I froze. You're lying. Wish I was. He poked the fire he'd somehow already started. Want tea or not? I sat too tired to argue. He handed me a tin cup. She's still alive? I asked quietly. Died giving birth to his second son, Eldrick said. He beat her when she cried my name in her sleep. Karma's slow, but she always walks. I gripped the cup so hard it bent. I don't want karma. I want them dead. Then you become the next monster, he said softly. Seen it before. I threw the cup into the fire. Good. Footsteps again. Thorn stepped out of the trees with Lars the baker beside him, both carrying packs. Lars looked ashamed. The whole village is talking. Ilara married Zorith this morning. In the temple. Wearing your mother's dress. The world went red. Thorn grabbed me before I could charge back. Listen. She's queen now. Guards everywhere. You go back, you die for nothing. Let me go. I roared, punching his chest. She wore my mother's dress? Lars wrung his hands. People are scared, Kai. Zoritha's already raising taxes. Says the hero abandoned us. I laughed until I cried. I abandoned them? I bled for 3 years. Thorn shook me. Then bleed for us again. Not like this. Not alone and broken. I sank to my knees in the dirt. I have nothing left, Thorn. She took everything. Eldrick's calm voice cut through. No, she took your trust. That can grow back, harder this time. I looked up at him, tears and mud on my face. How do you keep living after that? One sunrise at a time, he said. And maybe a little revenge on the side. Thorn crouched beside me. We're with you, brother. Whatever you choose. I stared at the fire, chest aching like someone carved my heart out and left it beating on the ground. I choose to survive tonight, I whispered. Tomorrow I choose something else. Chapter 4. Seeds of Revenge. I sat on a fallen log, staring at the campfire. The flames hissed when fat from the rabbit dripped. My hands shook. Not from cold. I can't keep running, I whispered to the dark. He took everything. My wife. My name. My world. And now he's taking the kingdom I bled for. A twig snapped behind me. Eldrick stepped out of the shadows, white beard glowing orange. You talk to yourself now, hero? He said, voice low and dry. I talk because no one else listens. He sat across from me. Then listen to this. Zorith lives. He sits on a stolen throne while your wife warms his bed. The cities fall one by one. People whisper your name like a curse. Where is the hero who left us? Every word was a knife. I clenched my fists until my nails cut skin. I'm done hiding. Good. He tossed a small black crystal into the fire. Purple sparks shot up. Then train. I will teach you what the bards never sing about. Magic that eats magic. You will learn to turn his power against him. For days he drilled me until my bones screamed. One dawn, a girl no older than 19 marched into camp carrying a staff too tall for her. Master Eldrick, the perimeter wards are set, she said, then noticed me and froze. You're really him. Eldrick grunted. Arya, meet the man who saved the world and lost it in the same week. Her eyes went wide. I thought you were dead. Almost was, I muttered. She dropped to one knee. Teach me to fight with you. Please. My village burned because I wasn't strong enough. I won't let that happen again. I looked at Eldrick. He shrugged. She's stubborn. Useful. I said. Get up. Heroes don't kneel. She grinned like I'd handed her the sun. That afternoon, hoofbeats thundered. Thorn rode in, face grim. They're saying Ilara married him yesterday, he said without greeting. Whole kingdom watched. She wore the crown I helped you win. The world tilted. I grabbed a tree to stay upright. Thorn dismounted. There's more. Myra's looking for you. She's got something. Night fell. Mira arrived wrapped in a cloak, eyes red from crying. She thrust a bundle of letters at me. From Ilara, she whispered. She sent them through servants. Read them. I opened one. The handwriting I used to trace with my fingers that loved her. I'm sorry. I was afraid. He promised safety. I still love you. Come back, please. I read 3 more. Same pleading. Same excuses. My chest burned. I walked to the fire and threw every letter in. The parchment curled black. She made her choice, I said, voice flat. Now I make mine. Mira grabbed my arm. She's pregnant. The night went silent except for the crackle of burning words. Thorn spat. His or yours? Does it matter? I laughed and it hurt. Either way, the child grows up in a palace built on my grave. Arya stepped closer, voice soft but steady. Then we tear the palace down. I looked at my 3 allies. Old mentor, loyal friend, angry sister, new believer. First step, I said. We cut his supply lines. The black iron caravans from the north. They carry the crystals that feed his spells. Thorn grinned for the first time in weeks. I know the routes. Narrow pass, 3 days ride. 10 guards, maybe 12. Eldrick cracked his knuckles. I can make the mountain angry. Arya lifted her staff. And I can make the guards sleep forever. Mira wiped her tears. I'll ride to the villages. Someone will help the real hero. I stared into the fire where Alara's lies turned to ash. No more running, I said. No more tears for a woman who chose a monster over me. Zorith wants my world? I'll give him a war. The flames roared higher, like they agreed. Chapter 5. The Gathering Storm. I shoved open the creaky door to the abandoned mill and stepped inside. The air smelled of rust and old grain. Thorn was already there, arms crossed. Took you long enough. Had to lose 2 patrols, I muttered. Where's everyone? A hammer rang against steel in the back. Garrick, the huge blacksmith from the border village, stepped out wiping sweat from his brow. You the hero they're whispering about? He asked, eyeing me up and down. I'm the idiot who saved the world and got stabbed in the back for it, I said. You in or not? He grinned, showing a missing tooth. If it means putting Zorith in the ground, I'll forge you an army's worth of blades for free. Just say the word. But, because we're short on time and shorter on men. A shadow dropped from the rafters. Lena landed without a sound, hood low. Speaking of short, she said, voice like smoke, I just came from the palace. Zoritha's planning a coronation in 3 weeks. Wants the whole kingdom to watch him crown Alara as queen. My stomach twisted, but I kept my face stone. Then we hit him before the crown touches her head. Thorn stepped closer. You sure about this, brother? You've barely slept. Every time her name comes up you look like you're about to break something. Maybe we go too fast. We go now, I snapped. Every day he sits on that throne he gets stronger. Arya pushed off the wall, her young face fierce. I'm with him. We've hidden long enough. People are starving while Zorith throws feasts. They'll follow us if we give them hope. Garrick laughed, deep and rough. Little wolf's got teeth. I like her. Lena tilted her head. There's something else. The court healer let it slip. She paused, eyes on me. Alara's with child. 3 months along. The world went quiet. I felt every heartbeat in my ears. Thorn grabbed my shoulder. Hey, look at me. Don't do this. I shook him off. I'm fine. You're shaking, Arya whispered. I said I'm fine. The shout echoed off the rafters. Garrick cleared his throat. So, do we still burn the supply wagons tomorrow night or what? Yes, I said, voice raw. We burn everything he owns. Lena smirked. I'll get you the patrol routes. But if we're doing this, we need more fighters. Then we recruit tonight, I said. Every tavern, every farm. Tell them the man who killed Zorith once is back to finish the job. Thorn sighed. And when they ask why the great hero disappeared for half a year? I met his eyes. Tell them I was dead. And hell just spat me back out. A distant horn blasted outside, 3 sharp notes. Zoritha's signal. Lena's head snapped toward the window. They found us. Boots thundered on the road. Torches flickered between the trees. Garrick hefted his hammer. Looks like the fight's coming to us. How many? I asked Arya, drawing her short swords. Too many, Lena said. 30, maybe 40. Thorn drew his blade. We can't hold the mill. Then we don't hold it, I said. I grabbed a lantern off the wall and smashed it against the flour sacks. Flames whooshed up instantly. What are you doing? Arya yelled. Buying us time. I kicked over barrels of oil. Fire raced across the floor. Everyone out the back. We bolted into the night as the mill exploded behind us, lighting the forest orange. Thorn ran beside me, panting. You just burned our only safe house. Safe houses are for people with something to lose, I shouted back. We've got nothing left but the fight. Arrows whistled past. Garrick roared as one buried in his shoulder, but he kept running. Lena vanished into the shadows ahead. Follow my voice or die here. I grabbed Arya's hand and pulled her faster. Behind us, soldiers screamed as the fire spread to the trees. We ran until my lungs burned and the shouts faded. Only then did I let myself think the words I couldn't say inside the mill. A child. She's carrying his child. And tomorrow night, I'm going to burn his world down anyway. Chapter 6, Betrayer's Regret. The hood itched against my face, but I kept my head down as I slipped through the servants' corridor. Lena had gotten me inside the palace walls. Now it was just me, the shadows, and the voices drifting from the royal chambers. You promised me he was dead. Elara's shout cracked like a whip. Zorith laughed, low and cruel. And you believed me, little dove. That's your mistake, not mine. I waited for him every single day, she said, voice breaking. I loved him. I still what? Zorith snarled. Still dream of that pathetic hero while you warm my bed? Say it. Silence. Then a choked sob. I miss him, Zorith. I miss Kale. My name in her mouth felt like a knife twisting in my chest. I pressed my back against the cold stone wall, fists clenched so tight my nails drew blood. Part of me wanted to kick the door down and drag her out. The other part wanted to run forever. I did neither. I just listened. Footsteps. Zorith again. Draven. The heavy door creaked. A mountain of a man stepped in, armor clanking. I'd heard the name Draven before, Zorith's new attack dog. My lord. Draven's voice was gravel. Double the guards on the east tower, Zorith ordered. The rats are getting bold. Someone blew up my last shipment of blood crystals. Draven grunted. Consider it done. Anyone I catch, I break. Good dog, Zorith sneered. The door slammed. I waited until their voices faded, then slid into the ritual chamber through the side grate Lena had shown me. Black candles, circles of runes, a pulsing red crystal in the center. I pulled the small vial Eldrick gave me, void salt mixed with phoenix tears, and poured it straight into the crystal's heart. The reaction was instant. The crystal screamed, a high, horrible sound, then exploded in a wave of sickly green fire. Alarms rang through the palace. I was already running. Later that night, in the abandoned bell tower we used as a safe house, Lena found me staring at the city lights. You did it, she whispered, sliding the hood back. Half his Western army just lost their magic. They're deserting. I didn't answer. My mind was still hearing Elara say she missed me. Lena touched my arm. Kael'thas has to meet. Alone. Says it's urgent. I laughed, bitter and hollow. Of course she did. The old greenhouse behind the palace, midnight. Moonlight through broken glass. She was already there, wrapped in a dark cloak, face thinner than I remembered. Kale, she breathed when she saw me. Tears instantly spilled. You came. Don't, I said, voice flat. Don't say my name like it still belongs to you. She stepped closer, hands reaching. I was wrong. I was scared and stupid and he lied to me every day. Stop. I caught her wrists before she could touch me. You chose him the moment you thought I was dead. I thought you were never coming back, she cried. He said the world would burn without his power, that you failed. So you spread your legs for the man who wanted me dead. Real heroic, Elara. Her face crumpled. I hate myself. I hate what I've become. Please, take me with you. I'll help you kill him. I'll do anything. I stared at her, at the woman I once planned to build a life with. The woman who wore my ring while she wore his crown. No, I said quietly. Kale. You made your bed. Sleep in it. I turned to leave. Behind me she fell to her knees, sobbing. I still love you. I never stopped. I paused at the door, didn't look back. Love doesn't betray the person it claims to want. Goodbye, Ilara. The door shut between us. I didn't feel victory. I didn't feel pain anymore either. Just cold, clear purpose. The kingdom could burn for all I cared tonight. Tomorrow, I'd be the one holding the torch. Chapter 7. Power Shift. The forge was roaring when Garrick shoved a new sword into my hands. Feel that weight? He grunted. Enchanted with dragonbone dust. One swing and dark armor cracks like eggshell. I tested the balance. You're sure it'll cut through Draven's plate? Cut through his pride first, Garrick laughed, slapping my back. Go give the bastard a haircut. Thorn ran up, breathing hard. Outpost on the eastern ridge is lightly guarded tonight. We hit it or we lose the momentum. I looked at Arya. You still in? She tightened the strap on her bow. I was born in, remember? Lena slipped out of the shadows. Guards change at moon high. I already poisoned their ale. Half will be puking, half asleep. I nodded. Then we move now. We struck like thunder. I kicked the gate open and shouted, for every village you burned. Arrows flew past me, Arya's aim never missed. Thorn's axe took a head clean off. Garrick's hammer smashed shields into scrap. A soldier swung at me. I parried and drove the new sword through his chest plate. The metal screamed, then split. Impossible, he gurgled. Tell Zorith impossible is my new hobby, I snarled, yanking the blade free. We burned their supplies in minutes. As the flames rose, Arya grabbed my arm. Her voice was small against the fire. Wait, I need to say something before one of us dies tonight. I wiped blood off my cheek. Not the best timing, kid. I don't care. She stepped closer, eyes shining. I've followed you through every hell because I love you. I have for months. And if we survive this war, I want you to know it. My heart punched my ribs. I opened my mouth, no words came. Thorn whistled low. Save the kissing for after we win, lovebirds. I looked at her, really looked. Arya, A horn blasted in the distance. Black Riders. Draven's personal guard. Later, I said, squeezing her hand once. We talk later. I promise. We ran for the tree line, but the riders were faster. They circled us like wolves. Then I saw the cage wagon, and Mira inside it, hands bound, face bruised. My blood turned to fire. Draven! I roared. He rode forward, black helm gleaming. The broken hero returns. How touching. Let my sister go. Or what? You'll bleed on me again? He laughed. I'm going to enjoy carving her in front of you. I charged. Steel met steel. Draven was bigger, stronger, but I was faster now. Every swing carried 5 years of rage. You took my wife. Clash. You took my name. Clash. You will not take my family. He staggered. I spun, slashed across his thigh, dragonbone blade bit deep. He screamed. Arya's arrow took the rider holding Myra's cage. Thorn smashed the lock. Mira stumbled out, coughing. Took you long enough, big brother? I grinned despite everything. Traffic. We vanished into the forest as more horns sounded, Zoratha's army waking up too late. By morning every village we passed was in open revolt. People poured into the roads. An old farmer dropped to his knees in front of me. Sir Rowan, they're saying you're back. Please, lead us. A woman with 2 children clutched my cloak. Zorith hanged my husband for hiding grain. Fight for us. More voices, hundreds, begging, cheering, crying. I looked at Thorn. He just raised an eyebrow. Told you the world would need you again. I raised my blood-streaked sword. Then let's give them a world worth living in. Night fell. I was cleaning the blade when soft footsteps approached. Ilara. Alone. No guards, no finery, just a bruised cheek and red eyes. She stopped 10 paces away. He hits me now, she whispered. Every time his plans fail, he takes it out on me. I kept sharpening. Should I feel sorry for you? I didn't come for pity. Her voice cracked. I came to warn you. He's going to use blood magic, my blood and the baby's, to open the void gate again. I finally looked up. You're carrying his child and you still think I'll save you? Tears rolled down her face. I think you'll save the world. You always do. That's why you betrayed me? I stood. You chose power over me. Live with it. She reached for me. I stepped back. Goodbye, Ilara. She sobbed once, then ran into the dark. Arya walked up beside me, silent. After a moment she slipped her hand into mine. I squeezed it. Inside my chest something that had been dead for months stirred. Anger, yes, but also fire, purpose, life. I looked at the burning horizon where Zoratha's banners fell one by one. The victim was gone. The hero was back. And this time I wasn't fighting for a wife or a crown. I was fighting for me. Chapter 8. The final confrontation. The heavy doors exploded inward. I stepped into the throne room, boots echoing on black marble. Zorath lounged on my old victory throne, Ilara beside him in silver silk, her hand on his arm. So the dead hero walks again, Zorath laughed, standing. Come to die twice? I raised my sword. I came for what's mine. The throne. The kingdom. And the truth. Ilara's eyes widened. Please, don't do this. Shut up, woman, Zorath snapped at her, then smirked at me. Still crying over used goods, hero? My blood boiled. I lunged. Steel met dark magic in a shower of sparks. He flung a black bolt. I rolled under it, came up swinging. The blade bit his shoulder. He hissed and backhanded me across the room. I tasted blood. Thorn. Left flank. I shouted. Already on it. Thorn roared, crashing into the royal guards with Arya right behind him. Swords clanged everywhere. Zorath hurled a spear of shadow at me. I parried, felt the cold burn through my arm. You took everything from me. I yelled. I took what you were too weak to keep, he sneered. She begged me that first night, you know. Begged. I saw red. I charged again, faster, harder. Our blades locked. His face was inches from mine. You were never enough for her, he whispered. I head-butted him, felt his nose break. Funny. You're about to not be enough for life. Behind him, Lena slipped from the shadows and jammed a glowing dagger into the rune stone that powered his throne. The dark aura flickered. Zoratha's eyes widened. No! I kicked him in the chest. He stumbled backward, right into the circle I'd painted on the floor last night, invisible until now. The trap runes flared white. Chains of pure light snapped around his wrists and ankles. He thrashed. Release me! Never! I said, breathing hard. Ilara ran forward, tears streaming. Stop. If you kill him, you kill me too. I'm carrying his child. I froze. The room went silent except for steel dropping from Thorn's hand. Say that again, I whispered. She clutched her stomach. I didn't want you to find out like this. I thought he would protect us. Zorath laughed, even bound. Hear that, hero? You're going to be an uncle to my heir. Something inside me snapped, cold and final. I looked at Ilara. Really looked. The woman I would have died for was clinging to the man who destroyed me. I turned the sword in my hand and slammed the pommel into the rune stone Lena had weakened. The chains tightened. Zorath screamed as light burned into his skin. Wait! Ilara grabbed my arm. I'm sorry. I was scared, I was alone. You chose, I said quietly. Every day you stayed with him, you chose. The runes reached Zoratha's heart. One last shriek, then silence. His body turned to ash and blew away like black snow. Ilara dropped to her knees in the ashes, sobbing. What have I done? I looked down at her. My chest felt empty, not angry anymore. Just empty. You wanted a villain, I said. You got one. And you lost everything. Thorn put a hand on my shoulder. It's over, brother. Arya stood beside me, eyes shining with proud tears. Lena gave a small nod. I sheathed my sword. Yeah. It's over. I walked out of the throne room without looking back. The crown could wait. For the first time in years, I could finally breathe. Chapter 9. Begging for redemption. The throne room doors crashed open and a dozen royal guards dropped to their knees the moment they saw me. I stood there covered in Zoratha's blood, sword still dripping, and the king, fat, pale King Alric, scrambled off his throne so fast he tripped on his robes. Your Majesty, he stammered, voice shaking, the realm is yours. Please, take the crown. Rule us. Save us again. I stared at him. Save you? I just did. Twice. He crawled closer. We were blind. We celebrated that monster while you bled for us. Name anything, gold, titles, lands. I don't want your chair, Alric. I stepped over his outstretched hand. I never did. Behind him, the council members started shouting at once. Hero, the people are rioting in your name. Without you, the nobles will tear the kingdom apart. Stay, please, we beg you. I kept walking. Their voices chased me down the marble hall like stray dogs. Outside, the courtyard was already packed. When the crowd saw me, they roared my name so loud my ears rang. I raised one hand to quiet them, and they actually shut up. Someone pushed through, Mira, eyes red from crying. She threw her arms around me. You're alive, she whispered into my chest. I thought I lost you forever. I'm here, I said, hugging her back. She pulled away just enough to look at me. They want to crown you tonight. Thorn says you should take it. He says the kingdom needs a real king. I shook my head. Thorn's wrong. Thorn himself limped up then, leaning on Garrick. You stubborn bastard, he laughed, voice hoarse. You just killed the Dark Lord in front of half the city and you're still going to walk away? I'm tired, Thorn. Tired? He grabbed my shoulder. Look around. These people love you. I love you. We fought for this. You fought for freedom, I said. You've got it now. I'm done being the weapon everyone points at the next problem. Arya appeared beside him, quiet until now. She touched my arm gently. Where will you go? Somewhere the wind doesn't carry the smell of blood. She bit her lip. Can I come with you? Mira raised an eyebrow. Thorn smirked. I looked at Arya, really looked. The girl who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. If you want, I said softly. But it won't be palaces and parades. I never liked parades, she answered, and smiled for the first time in weeks. A herald ran up, breathless. My lady Alara has been taken to the eastern gate. She's to be exiled at dawn. She asked to speak with you one last time. I felt the old knife twist in my gut, but it didn't cut as deep anymore. Tell her no, I said. The herald bowed and left. Mira watched me. You sure? I've heard every apology she has, I said. None of them bring back the years I lost or the man I was. Thorn clapped me on the back. Then let's get drunk instead of crowned. We walked away from the palace together. Mira on my left, Thorn on my right, Arya's hand slipping into mine. Behind us, the king was still shouting my name, promising the world if I'd only turn around. I didn't. The sun was setting red over the broken walls, and for the first time in years, I felt light. I was free. Chapter 10. A New Dawn. I stood on the hill outside the capital, wind tugging at my cloak. The city below was already rebuilding, scaffolds everywhere, banners with my old crest flying again. I hated the sight. You really won't come down? Thorn's voice came from behind me. He climbed the last few steps and stopped at my side, breathing hard. I already told the council no, I said. 3 times. They sent another one this morning. Lord Harlan himself. Begged on his knees. I laughed once, short and bitter. Let him beg. I'm done being their hero. Thorn kicked a pebble. They're saying the kingdom will crown you next week whether you show up or not. They can crown an empty chair for all I care. Footsteps on the grass. Arya appeared, carrying a small bundle wrapped in cloth. She looked between us, then held it out to me. Breakfast, she said softly. Fresh bread and the last of the honey. I took it. Thanks. She didn't leave. The king's messenger is still waiting at the cottage. He brought gifts. Titles. A whole province if you want it. I don't want it. Thorn snorted. Tell him again, then. He keeps crying that the people need their savior. I tore the bread in half and gave one piece to Arya. The people needed their savior when Zorith was burning villages. Where was the king then? Hiding behind his walls while I bled for them. Arya's voice dropped. They're scared you'll disappear forever. Good, I said. Maybe they'll remember what fear feels like. Silence stretched. Below us, horns sounded. Another parade in my honor? Probably. Thorn tried one last time. Mira wants you to at least visit. She says the house feels empty without you. Tell Mira I'll visit when I'm ready. He sighed, long and heavy. You're stubborn as ever. Learned from the best, I said, nudging his shoulder. He grinned despite himself, then pulled me into a rough hug. Don't be a stranger, brother. Never. He walked away down the hill. I watched until he vanished around the bend. Arya stayed. You okay? She asked. I pulled the bundle open. Inside the bread was a single folded letter, Ilara's handwriting on the outside. My name, nothing else. I stared at it. Burn it, I said. You sure? I'm sure. She took it from my fingers, walked to the small fire pit we kept on the hill, and dropped the letter in. The edges curled black, then red. I didn't look away until only ash remained. Arya came back and sat beside me. Heard news from the south this morning, she said quietly. Yeah. Ilara lost everything. The nobles took the estate. Zoritha's old allies turned on her the second he died. She's living in a border village now, alone. No money, no title. People spit when she walks past. I nodded once. No joy, no pain. Just nothing. That's it then, I said. It's finished. Is it? Arya asked. I looked at her. Really looked. Sunlight caught in her dark hair, and her eyes didn't flinch from mine. Yeah, I said. It's finished. She reached over and took my hand. So what now? I squeezed her fingers. Now I build something that's mine. Not the kingdom's. Not the world's. Mine. And mine, she asked, half teasing, half serious. I smiled. The first real one in months. If you want. I want, she said quickly. Below us, the city horns sounded again, fainter this time. I stood, pulling her up with me. Come on. There's a stream 2 miles west. Fish are biting. She laughed, bright and clear. You hate fishing. I'll learn. Hand in hand, we walked away from the capital, from the throne, from the ashes of the letter and the woman who wrote it. Behind us, the wind carried the smoke of a life I no longer needed. Ahead, the path was quiet, empty, and entirely ours.